Today we're making easy shepherd's pie. Here are the lovely ingredients you will need. You will need a bell pepper, garlic, and a Vidalia onion, carrots, cream of mushroom soup, soy sauce, tomato ketchup, half and half, grass-fed ground beef, 3 russet potatoes, about a half a stick of butter. You will also need tomato and chicken bouillon, sharp cheddar cheese, garlic, onion powder, and black pepper. Very easy to make recipe. First things first, peel and boil your potatoes. Go ahead and get them in your pot with some cold water. Give them a nice rinse. Get some of that starch off of them and get them at a rolling boil. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and season up your ground beef. You want to go ahead and add your onion powder, your garlic powder, and your pepper to your ground beef and get that browned up in your pan while your potatoes boil. So you definitely want your ground beef to be thoroughly cooked, and you want it to be nice and small pieces. You don't want big hunks of ground beef unless that you're the type of person that likes that. But usually you want your ground beef to be kind of a nice smaller texture because it makes for a smoother shepherd's pie. So I just went ahead and browned up my ground beef until it was this consistency and this color. Then I went ahead and got that drained really well. I don't like greasy ground beef. I did use the 80-20%, so it was a little on the greasy side. Then I went ahead, diced up my onion and my garlic and went ahead and got them sauteed real quick. Set them to the side. Then I went ahead and sliced up my carrots and my red pepper and went ahead and got those sauteed in a pan as well with a little bit of butter. This was just to add a little bit of flavor to them, put a little caramelization on them, just give them a little bit more flavor. Isn't that just the most beautiful color? I love that color. Oh, so beautiful. So I just sauteed them, I would say probably about 10 minutes or so. Got them nice and done and ready to go. Set them to the side as well. Now, after I went ahead and did that, it was time to make my sauce. Went ahead and took my tomato ketchup, about 1/4 cup, and added a couple of dashes of soy sauce. This was just to add an extra little layer of flavor. It's going to also be salty, so you don't want to add any salt to your recipe. I used absolutely no salt, but almost everything that I used has a salt element to it. Then you want to go ahead and get your tomato bouillon and your cream of mushroom soup added to the pan. Go ahead and cook that on low heat until it's this consistency. It almost looks like a tomato soup. So that's going to be your sauce. Then I went ahead and added my ground beef mixture and my vegetables to that sauce. Went ahead and got that tossed up a little bit, but you definitely don't want any more heat because you don't want it to dry out too much because this has got to cook in the oven for about 30 minutes or so. So then my potatoes were ready. So I went ahead and took about 3 pats of butter, melted it in a pan. To that I added about 1/4 cup of half and half. Went ahead, got that mixed up. So I was getting my potatoes, my mashed potatoes ready to be prepared. Went ahead, drained my potatoes, and went ahead and added my potatoes to that cream cheese mixture. Gave them a nice rough mash. Don't want them too mashed, but you definitely don't want them chunky either. So just went ahead and gave them a nice mash. Didn't put any salt in there whatsoever because, like I said, almost everything that you're putting in this dish has an element of salt to it. So you don't want it over salty. So they just made some really nice, kind of thin mashed potatoes. Not too thick, not too thin. Go ahead and give them a nice stir. So you're getting ready to go ahead and add those to your ground beef and sauteed vegetable mixture. Gonna go ahead and do that next. Go ahead and just layer it on top any kind of way, and then just go ahead and get it all off to the sides. Make sure that every part of your tomato and ground beef mixture is completely covered with the mashed potatoes. You want to cover every nook and cranny. So you just go ahead and get that smashed out to the sides and go ahead and just kind of layer it in there and smooth it out and Make sure it's all nice and incorporated. Kind of as evenly as you can get it. Then, now for the best part. We're going to go ahead and add our cheese. You go ahead and throw your cheese on top. It doesn't matter what kind of cheese you use. I used extra sharp cheddar cheese because that's my favorite. So I went ahead and threw that on top and distributed that evenly as well. I baked it in a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes. When it came out, this is what it looked like. On the next slide. Yum. So I didn't get my cheese too overcooked. I don't like overly cooked cheese. I don't like it to be hard, but this is the finished results. Really good. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this recipe and to be alerted to more of my delicious recipes. Enjoy. Shepherd's pie. Easy, delicious.